And I want you to meet a millionaire mentor, a very good friend of mine. And his name is James Lavelle. And tonight you're going to have a lot of fun. James is a lot of fun. He's got a great personality, and he's going to teach you the art of influence. And he's going to teach you how you can take any business from $0 to $100 million and then retire after 7 years. Would you like to learn how to do that, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, first thing I want you to do, I want you to turn on your cameras. Let him see all of your beautiful faces. Let him see your faces. Okay, now everybody go to the chat box and I want you to type in James Lavelle. I want you to type in the name James Lavelle. Okay, come on, ladies and gentlemen, type that name in there. And then as soon as you've typed his name in there, we're going to bring him on. And I'm going to introduce you to one of our millionaire mentors. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Good evening. Hey, my brother.
How are you, my friend?
Mate, I am fantastic. You're getting better looking.
Well, there's a few little secrets that I could share, but yeah, they do call me Benjamin Button, getting younger every year.
Do you guys know who Benjamin Button is? You might have to tell them the story, James.
Yeah, basically, it was a guy who, with age, got actually younger. So that's the goal, right? We're talking about success today, but we want to improve in all areas of our life, right? Nothing is singular. So if you have that discipline, that desire to improve in all areas, then, health and vitality should be one of them as well.
100%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I was telling you a story today how I went to a mastermind in Hawaii. And when I was in the mastermind, I met Darren. Darren introduced me to his wife, and his wife and Darren introduced me to James. And that's how we got connected. And we've had a great time over the past couple of years. We've become friends, almost family. We've stayed at his home. He's driven us around in his Porsche, but now I've got to get over there to get into the Bentley. But this time I don't want you to drive me. I want to drive it. I want to drive it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat tonight. James, I'm going to hand it over to you, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, type in James Lavelle in the chat box and enjoy this evening. Thank you, mate. Good to see you.
Daniel, a pleasure, as always. Thank you, guys. Hey, it's an honor for me to be here because, firstly, of my relationship with Daniel. I'm sure you guys don't need me to explain what a phenomenal human he is, but also a coach, a guide, a mentor, someone who's helping you in your journey to achieve the things that you want. So I'll try and speak slow because I'm from the UK in Manchester and I have a strong accent. So let me know if I go too quickly. I'll speak slow so you can understand. But my first message to you guys today is that whatever your current circumstances or your previous circumstances, that your past doesn't define your future. If you're taking notes, I would write that down. If you're anything like me, then I'll be honest, I was born into what you would call poverty, not just from a financial sense, but from a belief sense, from a mindset sense that no one in my family had owned a home. They was living from the government, money was very scarce. So I was at the beginning, of course, a product of my environment. What I learned later on in life is that we may start like that, but ultimately where we end up is when we become a product of our decisions. Do you see the difference? In the beginning, a product of the environment. Eventually, we get to make some better decisions. So despite from a young age being in the wrong environment, that I kind of got in trouble with the police, I got kicked out of school and no qualifications. I still don't have no qualifications now that are recognized, so no academic qualifications. And I was heading on the wrong path. The only thing that saved me is I knew that I needed to escape the environment, and we'll keep coming back to being in the right environment for you to learn and grow. I escaped the environment that was holding me back, and I served in the British military. I did 15 years in the military, and this was the foundation for me. The structure, the discipline, the routines, all these things create a foundation. And my belief in myself, my awareness, my traits, they really started to improve. And that then became a foundation for me to become successful in business. I stumbled on a business in 2013. I have no qualifications, no business experience, but let me tell you something that you don't need a piece of paper for. That I had enthusiasm, energy, and a desire to change my life circumstances for me and my daughter. So if you feel right now in your life there are a lot of things missing, you can gain the skills from people like Daniel. You can gain the knowledge if you're coachable, but you must have an energy, an enthusiasm, and a relentless desire to change your circumstances, not just for you, but for the people you love. So those three things that no one can give you that. Daniel can't give you that. I can't give you that. That has to be something internal. You have to make that decision, and you're in the right place to make a decision like that today. So despite not having the skills, I had all this energy and enthusiasm for this business, and it was a crazy time. And Daniel come into my life not long after that, because in the beginning I was making a lot of money, but I almost wasn't ready for that money. And eventually, you know, the money will drop because you will regulate, you'll find your level. So despite me having success early on, I knew that I needed a coach, a mentor, someone who had walked the path, someone who could help me understand the emotions and the feelings that I was going through. I came from a background where I was told money doesn't grow on trees. Then all of a sudden money was growing on trees. You know, it was in abundance. So there was a lot psychologically going on, and I had to grow as a man, because if you don't know this already, it's do more, be more, then you can have more. And at the beginning, maybe that was a wrong way around. So I understood the power of getting the right guidance, the right support, the right coaching. And it was a crazy few years. And with the support and guidance of Daniel, I stepped away from my first business and stepped away into a second business, because for me, the first business was a great start, but I just knew that the next business, the people, the integrity, the vision was more aligned with me. And this is kind of what Daniel talks about at this point, that this company was big in Asia, actually. It was big in the US, but they wasn't doing anything in Europe. At that point, they was doing 1 million a year in sales in Europe, which is not big, you know, for a global company. So when we joined them in 2015, within 5 years, they went from 1 million to 100 million in sales annually. So 100x, right? Which is pretty relevant for today. So, and that's not just down to me, but that stems from leadership. Someone has to go first. Yeah, it's $1 million USD. Someone has to go first. So you can be that person. When someone walks first, someone has the courage, someone has the vision, someone can convey a certain mission for the future, then that's how you create a movement. One decides that this is what I'm going to do. Then all of a sudden, someone else decides, some other people come along, and now you have a movement. And we expanded all across Europe, many different countries. And I don't actually work for that company today, but I'm very proud of the legacy we created, because there's more to life than just making money. It's like, what impact can you have? What legacy can you create? Who else can you help? So it's very important that the message from me today is clear, that you can have the things that you want, but first you need to become the person, because the person you are today has got you the things that you've already got. For you to get a new outcome, you need to become a new person. Does that make sense? Just type that in the chat. Yes, if that makes sense. For you to get your new desire, your new dream, your new things, you need to become a new person. And the smartest thing I ever did was knowing what I was dumb at. You have to understand what your limitations are before you can grow. And when you understand that, I was very aware that I need guidance. So I would be very clear about who can help me to become better. My biggest advice to you is don't try and figure it out all alone. It's painful, it's costly, and it's frustrating. Find someone who has done it. My biggest tip for success is success leaves clues. Find someone who has walked that path who can help you to do the same. And that's what I did when I found Daniel. And since then, not just Daniel, I have many coaches along the journey, because different people for different things. This person, he helped me with marketing. This person helped me with structuring business. The great thing you guys have got with Daniel is he offers many different things. He can help you in many different areas. So it starts with you. If you want to create something, if you want to build an organization, then it depends on you becoming that person. So it's not leadership, it's leadership. You need to make a shift today. You can become that person. No one ever believed in me. No one ever said that I would achieve anything, of course, when I left school. So if you feel that you're not supported right now, if you feel no one believes in you, it's nice when you have that, but you don't need that. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to take the steps for yourself and for your future. That's where that comes in. Leadership is making a decision, then taking the right actions. So Daniel, do you want me to carry on, or did you want to ask any questions? I've still got some of the stuff that I'm going through in terms of the network and stuff. Or...
Mate, I am hooked. I want you to keep going. I'm going to have to send you a check for all these knowledge bombs that you're sharing with us. I'm going to start writing the check now. Please continue. Do you want him to continue, ladies and gentlemen? Do you want more? If you want more, type in more.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, I only asked Daniel because I get excited with these things, because this stuff changed my life, and it can change yours. Not just if you listen to it, but if you listen to it and implement it. That's the difference, because action is the only answer. Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is power. So along this journey, I learned something, that if I become better, then I'm in a position to help other people become better. That's leadership, right? Touching lives, moving up to a level and pulling someone else up to that level. So it starts with you, but I promise you this will ripple and expand way beyond your current network. If you become better, if you develop more influence, if you get better at sales, if you get better with other people, then you will all of a sudden expand your network. And that reminds me of a quote that 100% of your effort is one thing, and that's good. But if you build a network and you had 1,001%, do you see the power in that? That's why you hear these quotes. Your network, or your net worth equals your network. But you're only going to be able to build your network the more valuable you become. What do you bring to the table? How can you help people? How can you inspire people? The more you do that, you will start to build this network. And now I have people all over the world. Look, Daniel, is part of my network, in my close network. I have a coach who's become a friend. That's someone who can help me, and he often does. We help each other, but it starts with you reaching out, having conversations, learning, growing, implementing, developing yourself, and you become attractive to people. You become the person who becomes attractive to other people. And there are 3 things that I kind of want to share with you guys right now that have been integral in my journey and will be integral in your journey. There's so much going on today, and I know there's so many valuable speakers sharing great information. Well, even if, the things I shared, if you didn't remember anything else, but you remembered this will always serve as a handrail for you, as a guide, something for you to follow. So we talked about having a mentor, right? Let me just add to that a little bit. 3 things you need to achieve your dreams and hit all your goals. 3 things. Write this down. Number 1, energy. You need to create it yourself. You need to protect it and share it with others. How do you do that? You get around the right energy. Let me know today if you felt an energy by being with like-minded people. Have you felt that? Maybe put some fire in the chat, or write fire. Have you felt that? What if you could feel that all the time, consistently? What about being around Daniel's energy? What about being around Nini? What about the energy that those guys transmit? What about high-level people in his network that he can expose to you? What would that do to you? If you just feel 10% better today, what would you feel over 90 days with consistent, opportunities to plug into that energy? Energy is essential for your growth. You need to create it, protect it, and share it. And you need to get around the right energy. So energy is number one. Number two, it links in beautifully. Environment. You become the people you spend the most time with. You've heard this before. I know Daniel's a big advocate of this, is that if you spend time with 5 leaders, you'll become the 6. If you spend time with 5 fools, you'll become the 6. So in these opportunities Daniel sets up, you know, to work, when you're in the environment, you're already absorbing the energy, but you're in the right environment. That's essential to your growth, because we all have people, I don't care where you are from in the world, we all have people who we love who don't get it, who don't agree with it, who don't operate on that same level of thinking that we need. And if you're the smartest in your room, you're in the wrong room. So just to reemphasize those 2 things, you need to be around the right energy and you need to be in the right environment. And the final piece that brings all this together is expertise. You can be in the right environment, you can be around the right energy, and that's a good start. It's going to serve as a fuel, but you need expertise, you need skills, you need knowledge, you need understanding, you need strategies, you need tools, you need blueprints. And that's what you've got here now with Daniel and Nini. They know what to do. You know, we have a saying in the UK, it's not their first rodeo. They've been doing it a long time. They've been helping people way before you to create success in their business and their life. So please remember that, those 3 things: energy, environment, expertise. If you figure those 3 out, I promise you, you will be a different person in 90 days from now. But let me add to that. What about a year from now? What about 5 years from now? What about 10 years from now? Because I'm going to tell you something. If you would have seen me 10 years ago, you wouldn't recognize me. I'm a different man because of those 3 things, because of the energy I created, the energy I got around, the environment I placed myself in. Remember my childhood environment? So I changed that, and the expertise that I learned along the way. So I want you to just do one thing before I go on past to Daniel. Think about this right now. All of us here, God willing, are going to arrive at a destination 5 years from now. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we're going to arrive somewhere. And there are 2 destinations. You can only pick one. One destination is a well-planned destination. A planned destination where you're in the right energy, environment, and you're learning the right expertise. A planned destination, detailed and supported with a coach, with a mentor, with strategies, with blueprints, with things that work. That's one destination. The other destination is unplanned. You're not sure. You're kind of just going to see how it goes. But I'm telling you, in 5 years, you're going to arrive at one or the other. My wish for you, ladies and gentlemen, it is a well-planned destination. It's a destination with intention. It's a destination with the right energy, around the right environment, learning the right expertise. That's my wish for you. Because if you do that, I want you to know, I promise you that you will create everything you want, not just for you, but for the people you love. And this gets bigger than you. You are here for you. But think about this. I created this life. And at the beginning, I said, I'm doing this for my daughter. My daughter won't need my money. Why? Because of the environment she is modeling my behavior. She doesn't need anything from me, or she won't do when she's older, because she has the example. She's in the right environment. She's around the right energy. She learns the expertise by seeing her dad do it. So this starts with you. But ladies and gentlemen, as you become the person, as you make leader shift, as you create the right energy, you're in the right environment, you gain the right expertise, I cannot tell you how far this will ripple, not just in your family and friends, because it will start there, but it will go way beyond the scope of your current imagination. So there you go. I hope that you do everything you need to do to create the life for you and your loved ones. And I just want to finish by saying, Daniel, thank you as always. Thank you to Nini. Thank you for being that support, because these guys may see right now a man who's created success and is confident and centered, but it's not always been like that. Along the way, I've needed my people to go to for my support, my guidance, my energy, my environment. And Daniel has been that for me. So I just want to say Thank you to him. Thank you to you guys. Well done for believing in yourself and being here today. Stay plugged in, stay tuned in, and do what you need to do for you and your family.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, James Lavelle. I want you to head to the chat box and type in James Lavelle. Wow. Wow. My brother. Beautiful. I've got 5 pages of notes. Moving on to my 6 pages of notes here. And I can see it. And we can see it here in James. You can see it. First of all, can you see the energy, ladies and gentlemen? Can you see that? Can you feel his energy from the other side of the planet? Yes. The second thing, he's in the right environment. Yes, he's here with you, but he's also in many uplifting environments. And I think it'd be fair, and James would agree with me here, that successful people will never pull you down. Successful people will always lift you up to a higher level. So you've got to get into the right environment. And the third thing is the expertise. Remember, you've got to acquire knowledge and skills along the way. You've got to discover the right strategies, the tools. You've got to have a blueprint. You've got to have a coach. You've got to have a mentor so you can get there faster. So remember those three things: energy, environment, and expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, go to the chat box, type in James Lavelle. Thank you so much, James.
Thank you, thanks, Daniel.
Beautiful, mate. Thank you so much. I know you're supposed to be on holidays today, and we really appreciate you being here.